Hello, hello. Anna Malimon here once again with you today. And I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on my past posts that you might have seen where I posted like that a Big Mac doesn't cost $3.99 or whatever it costs nowadays, but it costs your health. And then other things such as watching a bunch of movies and then maybe you're paying a low monthly fee, but yet you're wasting a lot of your precious time. And then people make excuses and people say, well, I don't have the time to do this and that, but yet we all know this and we all know that we all have the same exact amount of time. It just depends on who does what with their time. And same thing with we all have the same ability to make decisions in our lives when it comes to health and when it comes to time. But the decision that we make is our own decisions. You can't like blame someone else and say, hey, I did it because he told me or she told me, or because they did it because they look happy doing it. You have to do what's best for you, what's going to be the best in the long run. Not necessarily today, it's a good thing. Today you're fed and you're happy, but tomorrow you're going to be unhealthy and starting to gain unneeded weight, for example, right? If we're talking about like eating a burger and expensive, like, whether it's expensive or cheap, but if you're eating unhealthy, it's not healthy, period, right? And same thing when it comes to your focus. What are you choosing to focus on? If you're just scrolling through social media or you're watching a bunch of YouTube videos or whatever, playing games, I don't know what people do these days, but that's your time. That's your focus. That's your health. So just notice that they're all interconnected together, also, right? And those decisions that you make on a daily basis, the decisions that you make toward your health, toward your time, toward your focus, it all affects your success, your goal achieving in the future, right? And so I wanted to ask, what dictates your decisions? What do you think that is? And I know that sometimes, obviously, it's the way that we perceive things, but the thing is, it comes still rooted from somewhere. And also, just the thing is, when it comes to making decisions, our perceptions change all the time. Today, I can be looking at something and looking at it in one way and thinking about it one way. Someone says something, I'm gonna look at it in another way next time that I do look at it. Or, for example, do you often find yourself looking for other people's approval, or looking for someone to give you attention because that's what you seem to be lacking, because you need to get someone's approval, you need to have someone's attention. So it's not that you need someone's approval, it's that your self-worth is lower than, when it comes to confidence. You may be confident in doing certain things, but your self-esteem might be low, and vice versa. You may be super, low on confidence in certain thing, and your self-esteem may be high. And how does that even relate? Because when it comes to self-confidence, that's your ability in doing something, right? You're like, can you actually grab a pen and write something down? Yeah, you're super confident in that. You can grab a pen and write it down anytime. But can you write a poem or something, or write out a speech and go do the speech, right? So that's where self-esteem is a little bit different, because it's your actual, belief in yourself. Like, do you actually believe that you can do it? And so, because our self esteem is low, sometimes we look to others for approval. We look to others to give us the go ahead, the push, to do certain things. And the thing is, we need to work on that to increase our self worth, to increase our self esteem, so that we're not looking to others. We're not looking for either approval. We're not looking for somebody to tell us what we're worth. We're not telling to someone for someone to tell us how they perceive us, whether we're awesome or we're not. Is how do you see yourself? That's where it all stems from. How do you see yourself? And then you will go and do things with your belief. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're going to have a harder time doing things and making the decisions that are best for you. You're going to always try to look at well, what are they going to think about me? What are they going to say? Should I do this because they're going to look at me and they're going to say, oh, wow, look at her or look at him? Are you doing this because you need someone's attention? Do you need someone's approval? Or are you doing this because you truly feel like this is what you want to do? And so just going back to that post, and like your health decisions, your time decisions, your focus decisions, and everything else that you make in life, make sure that it's what you want, not because it's somebody else wants that, or you want somebody else to want that for you, or you want somebody to see you a certain way if you do a certain thing. And so I don't want you to feel like you have to do something because of someone. It has to be because you want it. It has to be because you believe in it. It has to be something that you want to do because that is the decision that you have made. So don't let someone or something dictate your decisions. It has to be the belief that you want it. And the thing is, you have to make sure that your belief stems from something good. If your belief is because you were raised in that environment, in that community, and you're just sticking to it because that's the only way that you know to do things, it doesn't make it right. So make sure that you're doing things with a good heart, with a good belief system. And if you need to change your perception, do a little research, do some homework, do whatever you need to do to make sure you figure out why are you making the decision to do that, and where does it really stem from? Because it all goes back to the root cause. It all goes back to wherever the belief came from initially. It's not because it necessarily something that you want, so don't follow always, somebody else. Make sure you take the lead. And when it comes to your life, you need to have complete clarity of what you want, of who you are, of who you want to become, of the way you perceive things, the way you make decisions. And it all comes down to you knowing what you want. Don't expect someone else to tell you, hey, this is what you should do. Don't expect them to do that, because once again, some people also say, you don't understand me, you don't know what I want. And that's because that particular person is not clear in their communication, for you to understand them, right? So it's totally normal. But that's why I want to kind of bring awareness to this and make sure that the decisions that you're making, it's not dictated by someone or something, or your beliefs that are instilled in you from the environment that you grew up in. Make sure you're doing things with a good heart. And you're doing things because they're going to be good for the world, good for yourself, and good in all aspects. So I appreciate you watching me. Thank you so much. I would love to hear some of your feedback, some of your input on this topic. Otherwise, have an amazing day, week, month. Stay awesome. Bye.